What's up, guys, and welcome to the web's first comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to the Comic Universe. I'm Dr.J. I've got a PhD in nerd culture, and I should know. I printed it out myself. Well, guys, so this is, first off, I apologize. This is a late video. Of course, it's Dr. J here riding solo, and we are doing a first for the channel. Something that I thought that would be fun, but it honestly took a little bit more research than I expected. I'm going to try and do this every week, at least like before the new crop of episodes drop. And of course, you can tell by the title and thumbnail, this is an Easter egg video talking about the recent first 3 episodes of Young Justice Season 3, or Young Justice Outsiders. And I thought this would be fun. Instead of doing the usual kind of review thing, which I do on my channel, I do the reviews for the block of 3 episodes on my channel personally. My individual channel, Mr. J's Reviews. But for Comic Universe, I decided to try and do Easter eggs. Because I noticed in my review, a lot of what I was bringing up was the Easter eggs, and I had a lot of fun just finding them and kind of talking about them. So I figured, why not bring them up here in a separate video, just talking about them all, as many of the ones I can find. Now, obviously, I've watched the episodes like 3 or 4 times, but there's still a chance that I'm gonna miss stuff. And matter of fact, it's pretty likely that I'm gonna miss, some stuff. So if there is anything I'd missed, please tell me in the comments below what I did miss, any other cool fun facts. So we're just gonna kind of go down the list, and normally in these types of videos you would see video clips or like images or stuff like that. We are a small channel, so I'm kind of afraid to show clips or images because fair use isn't exactly fair nowadays on YouTube. So we're just gonna go into this just looking at my freshly shaven mug here. So here we go. Obviously, let's start off with the one that is in as a thumbnail, Batgirl Paralyzed. So here's the context for this one. So this was more of just not a direct Easter egg, because it wasn't like straight up said, but using context clues, you can pretty much piece this together. So in the beginning of the episode, we see the clip from the end of Season 2, like the end of the Season 2 episode Endgame, where basically Calder is putting together a mission, and Dick is saying he's going on a hiatus because he just needs a break. And he says, but if you need somebody to help you with the team, Barbara is more than ready to step up. We see Barbara in the full-on Batgirl costume with the team there, and then we jump to the beginning of this season, which takes place 2 years later. And when Nightwing is on a solo mission, you hear Barbara's voice in his ear, and he refers to her as Oracle. Now, I'm sure most of you guys know, but in case you don't, Oracle is Barbara's persona after she is paralyzed by the Joker during the events of the Killing Joke, due to the events of the Killing Joke. And since she can't be active in costume as a superhero anymore, she kind of serves as the Q of the superhero community, but mostly the Bat family, where she's like the voice in the earpiece, handling all the tech and the intel and all the like science and forensic stuff. So I think that's really interesting that they basically confirmed that Barbara is paralyzed, or at least was paralyzed by the Joker in the 2-year time skip. Now, will we get footage of that? Will we actually get to see that? I don't know. Most likely not. Although you never know, because because from the looks of the show, they are going into like more violent, more like intense subjects. They even show like gunshots and kids getting their faces half melted off. Like, it's crazy. But other stuff that I did notice, obviously another big one, and another obvious one is Calderon is now Aquaman. When we're waiting for the League's fearless leader, as Impulse says, or I guess he's Kid Flash now. Bart says, "Oh, all they're missing is their fearless leader," and now we hear the Zeta 2 recognized Aquaman, and we see Calder show up in the Aquaman suit. And then that's when we also find out that Calderon, Aquaman, is now the chairman of the Justice League, with Wonder Woman as his co-chair. Now, also in this episode, we see kind of a schism within the Justice League, where Batman and several other leaders resign in order to basically do what the Avengers did during Civil War. They have Iron Man's team that is trying to follow the government's rules and kind of obey the laws of the government, whereas you have Cap's team that knows that they can't get anything really done with all the red tape, so they're going to do it vigilante style, and that's kind of what Batman's group does. And Batman's group consists of the retired Leaguers, or the resigned Leaguers, which are, of course, Batman himself, Green Arrow, Katana, Hardware, and Batwoman and Plastic Man, as well as their respective sidekicks, Arrowette, Tim Drake Robin, Spoiler, yeah, and that's pretty much it. But that's pretty interesting. We know the season itself is called Outsiders, and we know that Batman and the Outsiders was the original team, so it's likely that Batman is forming the Outsiders team, and that's what they're going to be, and that's how the team is going to operate. That's honestly how the Young Justice team in the show, in the cartoon universe, kind of operated in the first place. So wouldn't surprise me if the team kind of does a subtle merger where the Young Justice team actually kind of just combines forces with the Batman's Outsiders team. Also, speaking of other Batman references, when Batman offers to Black Lightning to join the team, he declined and he says, I don't trust you, and I don't trust Batman Incorporated. Obviously, Batman Incorporated is a Grant Morrison creation where Batman basically makes a international Justice League of all different Batmen and women from all across the world, which is pretty interesting. I wonder if that's going to end up being an element in the season. That could be cool. Who knows? But yeah, nice little nod there. Speaking of Black Lightning, we get a lot of different Easter eggs for Black Lightning in this in these few episodes. Not only do we get to see his wife Lynn Pierce, who if you watch the CW show you're familiar with, but also we know Lynn's maiden name is Lynn Stewart, and we find out in the Young Justice universe, and apparently I did a little digging in the comics as well, Lynn is the sister of John Stewart. So not only is she the ex-wife of Black Lightning, but she's also the sister of one of the Green Lanterns of Earth, John Stewart. So I thought that was really cool. Other interesting Easter eggs we see here is we see in these 3 episodes we see that Artemis is now basically sharing a house with Will Harper, aka Clone Roy, who, if you guys don't remember, because it's a little confusing, the actual Roy was the one that was captured by Cadmus, lost his arm, and stuck in a tube for several years, and he's the one that goes by Arsenal, and he was very pissy about it. And he even has the cap and everything. And the Roy that we've known throughout the show, who was technically the mole and was the Cadmus clone, and the one that married or at least hooked up with Cheshire and had Leanne, he goes by Will, which in itself is a reference because Green Arrow is obviously heavily inspired by Robin Hood, and one of Robin Hood's right hand men in his band of merry men was of course Will Scarlet. So Will Scarlet, Red Arrow, Speedy, that fits the whole motif. I thought that was really cool. And we actually get to see Leanne at the breakfast table, so I thought that was awesome. So yeah, moving on. We also get to see in Artemis's house, she still has her dog she and Wally had, who is named Bruce Lee, which, just awesome. Nice little reference. And of course, at the end, during the end credits of episode 1 of season 3, they have that little just tug at your heartstrings moment where Bruce Lee is sleeping with his little Kid Flash 2 toy, and it's just like, God dang it, man, you gotta hurt my feelings like that, Greg Weisman. What? Dang it, Greg Weisman. Why you gotta tug at my heartstrings like that? Okay, and then moving on, let's get into the Markovia stuff. Obviously, in Markovia is the home country of, comic favorite characters, Geoforce and Tara, which we know in season 2, Tara, however you pronounce it. I've always said Tara. Tara was kidnapped by metahuman traffickers, and that's the theory that Brian, or the show calls him Brion. I'm still gonna say Brian. AKA Geoforce, kind of believes that as well. Metahuman trafficking, of course, has become a huge, controversial topic within the Young Justice universe. So it's a big thing. The Markovian, government, or particularly the King and Queen, want to stop. And of course, there are some nefarious, shady dealings in the background involving the Queen's brother, Frederick DeLam, who is, of course, the comics villain from The Outsiders, Baron Bedlam. We also get a couple other comics characters working for the Markovian side, which, of course, I don't remember Simon X. I don't know what his actual comic counterpart is. If you guys could fill me in on that one, let me know in the comments. We also get Dr. Helga Jace, who is the one that gives Geoforce his powers, which, fun fact, I didn't know this until I actually Googled it. But apparently the crazy doctor chick that was in Black Lightning, the CW Black Lightning, that is also Helga Jace. So, interesting. So yeah, we got Helga Jace there as well. We got the return of Count Vertigo. Speaking of Count Vertigo, we see that his niece, Perdita, who is now Queen of Latava, is also currently in a relationship with Gar. So it turns out Gar's retired from the superhero game, and he's kind of followed in his mother's footsteps and become an actor, and he's kind of become the Captain Kirk of a Star Trek series called Space Trek. So that's pretty interesting. I thought that was cool. Also, interviewing him is Courtney Whitmore, aka Stargirl, and apparently her stage name persona is also called Stargirl. So that's pretty cool. Jumping around a little bit, when we get to that footage of the UN summit, we get to see some different representatives for different nations. We of course see Bialia, we see Karak, we see a lot of the warring nations that we've seen as starters of conflict within the Young Justice cartoon universe. But the more important ones we get to see are, of course, the ambassador for Atlantis, who is, of course, Garth. The OG Aqualad from the comics, who is an OG member of the Teen Titans. And speaking of OG members of the Teen Titans, we're talking about my favorite member of the OG Teen Titans, the current ambassador of the Mascara in the Young Justice universe, Troya, aka Donna Troy. So super hyped to see that. I'm really glad that Donna was finally included. I know they wanted to originally include Donna in season 2 or whatever, but man, I was so happy to see her. I'm glad that the DC Universe app is really giving Donna a lot of love. Especially she has her role on Titans, and now she's got that cameo in Young Justice, so that was pretty dope. Obviously, of course, jumping back to Jefferson, we get when we go to his house, we get to see his 2 kids, Jennifer and Anissa, and we get to see some pictures of him at the Olympics, which is interesting. Jumping to the UN thing really quick, we also see that Lex Luthor has risen up the ranks in politics-wise. He's become Secretary General. So it's only a matter of time before Lex Luthor becomes president, because we know that the storyline's probably going to play out like that. We see that McGann has fully embraced her white Martian, her actual default white Martian look. Not personally a fan of, but I like what it represents. She's actually fully comfortable with herself now. She's not as insecure about what she really looks like. When she's just in mission mode, which I think is awesome. You know, it shows a lot of character growth. Don't personally like the look, but I like what it represents. Are we missing anything here? From my notes, that's all I've got. Of course, like I said, we got Geoforce unlocking his powers. His powers look a little bit different here. Like he has like rock armor and stuff, which is cool, and he can like spew lava, which I think is pretty awesome. I forgot the big one. We get introduced to Halo in these 3 episodes as well. Except I believe she's like the body she possesses is Karaki or something like that. She's got like a Middle Eastern look to her, and she has the same powers as Halo from the comics. She can create force fields, light and energy, and because she is just kind of a being made of light possessing a human body, she can essentially they can't really kill her. She can just heal herself and heal other people, which is really interesting. She has a interesting connection with the Super Cycle, which is of course Apocalypse in technology, and we of course see Apocalypse in the background of the Young Justice, you know, opening title card sequence in all the episodes, because we know that Darkseid and Apocalypse are going to play a big part in this season. So overall, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for these 3 episodes. If I missed any big Easter eggs that you want to talk about, let me know them in the comments down below. Of course, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely going to miss some. But if there are any big Easter eggs that you want to discuss or that you want to point out, or any ones that I talked about that you think were really cool, let me know them in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to Hulk smash that like button like you mean it, and that subscribe button as well, so you can become one of Earth's mighty subscribers today. Join the universe today, you guys. We are getting so close to our big goals. We'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to join the universe by following all our different social medias. We've got it all: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. You follow those social medias. That'll be your best way to participate in our big giveaways when we reach our milestones. And those are always a lot of fun. And plus, it's a good way to keep connected and up to date with everything we do here on the Comic Universe. But that's pretty much it for me, you guys. I will catch you guys next week for another Young Justice Easter egg hunt. But until next time, guys, I'm Jay from Mysterious Reviews for the Comic Universe. And until next time, hopefully, I'll see you guys in the universe. Hopefully, you guys will feel the Aster. Peace.